Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. This has been a morning so far. It is a little bit later than I normally come on, and actually, by the look, I really need a haircut. Um, so those of you who are like, "Where is he? Is he on today?" I'm here, just late. So, um, woke up this morning and realized, why isn't the cat? I haven't seen the cat in a while. Seen, I was at school for a long time, and then last night I was doing laundry and a bunch of other stuff. Uh, and and so the cat usually hangs out upstairs. It was pretty warm yesterday. It's going to be even warmer today. Hoo-yah. Good morning. And so um, anyway, we were wondering where the cat was. So this morning, we're just kind of lying in bed, and we hear this thump, like, he's been on the counter, he's upstairs. So, uh, so anyway, so my mother-in-law comes up to me and is like, "Oh, I haven't seen your cat." Now, she doesn't like the cat, and so I'm automatically suspicious that she's done something with the cat. So I'm sitting out here getting ready for my morning tea, and who do I see in the backyard but my damn cat? Dojo's walking around, and he is dirty. It's like he found just this open pile of dirt and decided to roll in it. So so we picked him up, and he had a bath, and that is why I'm late, because Dojo had a bath. Now he looks like just a little drowned rat, which is fine. That's what he gets. So, yeah, that's what he gets. But I was while because I gave the daughter direction to give him a bath. I ended up helping out in the end, but I was watching cameras to see when he got out and who let him out, because I am very suspect that that my mother-in-law threw him out last night, because she doesn't like him. Now, my wife says he went outside because I opened the sliding glass door, which means that she must have seen him. Let's see. We'll see this. Did you see him this morning when you opened the door? Question mark. So we'll know how long he was outside. So if it was only a couple of hours, that's fine. But dude, how do you get that dirty except for him just rolling around in the dirt? Anyway, I'm just, life of a pet owner. Good morning, Rob. So, off the side of I don't know, the joys of owning a cat who likes to get out, and the neighbor who's yelling about his dog Arnold. Apparently, Arnold ran away. So my neighbor's pet, it's this little Chihuahua, and my neighbor, he's nice guy. I mean, he is actually a nice guy. Convicted felon for, I won't get into that, but he's a nice guy. It's taken me a long time to basically to kind of get to like him. Because when I first started getting to know him, he was tweaking all the time. Seems like he's pretty clean now. But anyway, he has this little rat dog, Chihuahua, that his name Arnold. It's so funny. This big guy who, you really wouldn't want to run into in a dark alley with this little shit dog. Yeah. Anyway, it's humorous. I ask James that all the time. How did you get so dirty? Yeah. It's like you just turn away for a second and they've gotten into a jar of Vaseline, just like James's father. He did that once. Smeared it all over the sliding glass door and himself and Spock Bear in the matter of mere minutes. So, anyway, so let's see. Oh wait, okay. So the journey of new students. Now, I'd been talking about this one 7-year-old student that did 10 for 10. Technically, her week is still not up. Talk with the father on the phone. Great conversation. Brought the daughter in. Good conversation. She had fun, but I got the feeling that I was not going to gain her as a student. I was hoping that they would at least come back, but I just felt I had this feeling that I was not going to gain her as a student. Just because I did not have other students her age. So that kind of sucks. So anyway, so that's basically that. She didn't return yesterday because Mondays and Tuesdays are what do they call it? Mondays and Tuesdays are youth days, and at 5, no student. It is what it is. Life goes on. But on the positive note, now I use this website, and I honestly cannot remember how I stumbled upon it. It's called lessons.com. And I remember getting an email saying, "Hey, do you want to be part of lessons.com or whatever?" And it was and I was like, well, it couldn't hurt, so I created a profile. It was all free. So the caveat, it's a free service to post yourself on there. But then when people are doing, just the service itself, you have a profile. People going on looking for lessons will go on there and be like, "Hey, this is where I live. This is where I live. This is what I'm looking for." And then based on their keywords, because there's some set keywords that you put that you go by. So based on their keywords, they connect to you or they get connected to you. But it's not just you, it's like a lot of people in the area. So and so it almost comes across as I'm looking for a bid. So people are looking for lessons. This is what they're learning, this is what they're looking for. And so I get a lot of things about from Portland, and I usually just pass on those, because if I want to give them an estimate or, bid on their request, because it's really weird how it's set up, because it's like, I can either say how much it is per lesson. So the lessons.com really isn't set up for like monthly classes, but there is the NA, which basically needs more information. So sometimes I'll just put NA. But honestly, I've responded to several over the years. I've been on the service for a long time, and it costs. So like and I know I really wish I could have nutshelled this, but to respond, I have to pay. That's the whole thing. I have to pay, and it's like, so I buy like 10 credits for $20 or something like that. And then it costs 1 or 2 credits based on whatever this person's looking for. And I don't know how how it's set. But I have had a lot. So because the it's weird. So I respond, I say, okay, well, it costs 2 credits to respond. Okay. So I put in my bid. Now, if the person looks at my bid in a certain amount of time, so it's like you have either 24 or 48 hours to basically connect with this person. If the person looks at your bid, you lose the credit. If the person does not look at your bid within a certain amount of time, you get your credits back. So I think I've only bought like over the last 4 years. I've only bought like 3 credits. No, not 3 credits. 20 credits, because you buy them at 10 credit increments. I've only bought 20 credits. So, and I think I'm on the end of, I think I might need to buy more, but I've always been kind of frustrated because I have connected with some people, been like, oh, hey, this is where I'm at. And, it's like, oh, great. Thank you. And then, of course, like we get down to it where it's like, oh, well, they never show nothing. So last week, I get a notification that there is there's somebody looking for just a single shot, 1 hour self-defense class for 20 people. And beginners, I don't know if I think the comment says that they're security people. And I'm like, security, I can do security people. So I get on there and I'm like, the guy's name was, I think his name was Kevin. Yeah, his name's Kevin. So I get on there and I'm like, hey, I used to, I did security for almost 20 years. I've worked with, I've run and trained, bar security. I've trained teams at Providence, at Kaiser, at Tuality, so basically saying plus I'm certified in all of these user tools. So I'm qualified for this job. And he looks at my quote within, I don't know, an hour or so, 2 hours. And it was a little bit late to connect with him, to call or write back. So I was like, okay, well, I'll give it the weekend, because he actually wanted it for a specific day, specifically Thursday, the 28th. And so I was like, and I meant to reach out to him. Let's see, what was I doing for? So I think he reached out Thursday, and I was going to reach out on Friday. Something happened. And that's when I usually, I try not to follow up, because I figure if this person is interested, they will reach out. And I actually have reached out in the past, where it's been like, oh, hey, I noticed you read my quote. Do you have any questions? I'd love to talk to you about how I can serve you, and got nowhere. So anyway, so I was like, okay, so I did class yesterday. I'm like, I'm just going to reach out after class. It's a Monday. I'll just reach out after class. And so my phone just started pinging and pinging and pinging, because generally when you get an email, or when you get a thing, it'll, like, I've chosen it, it will text me and it'll email me. So this guy responds. Okay. So this guy responds, and he says, I'm interested. What's next? And then he says, I used to work for Providence too. He says, I remember you worked for Providence. You taught whatever classes. I worked there between this time and this time. And I'm like, seriously? So I confirmed that. I confirmed the text. We settled on the price, and actually the price was already what I bid. I just bid $500 for a 1-hour class. And so he confirmed the location with me. We confirmed the times. Everything is set. Okay. But one of the reasons that he didn't get back to me right away is he wanted to confirm the locate. He was trying to confirm the location on his end. But he said that, he basically tells me that because when he saw my name and he saw my bid come through, he was sold. He's like, yep, no, I know exactly who he is. He's a great teacher. I'm going to have him. So that was freaking cool. I don't know what I'm going to teach these guys in an hour. Like, I could teach them all sorts of stuff. But essentially they are, they're going to be working in downtown Portland. And I guess they're going through a whole week of training. So I'm, hopefully I will be able to tie in, other things. So our texting last night with, my texting last night with Kevin ended, he said he had to go, but, find out more information. But yeah, so I got myself a $500 gig for an hour, but I got to drive into Portland because it's actually, the training is in Portland, but you know what? Not going to worry about it. I thought that was so cool. So there are positives and negatives that happen every day. And, that's a possibility. So apparently it's a security company that took over, this one bid or this one gig in downtown. I actually know the lady who owns the security company that used to have the gig. So, yeah, I kind of feel bad. And if they're doing a week of training, they probably have some type of, I don't know. They probably have baton and handcuffing and OC. I don't know what they get to carry. I mean, I've seen these guys downtown, and I mean, they've got full duty belts. So I'm not sure. And I don't know what their company policy is for, for how far they can take somebody. So like, if they got in a fight, would the company allow them to arrest that person? Because there are some companies that don't allow that. Like if you somehow get in a fight, I actually used to work for a company like that. If somehow you get attacked, it is your duty to get away. Like it is like, I was dumbfounded that we carried handcuffs, but we didn't teach anybody to use handcuffs, and we deterred people from using handcuffs. So, so yeah, it's all up in the air. So anyway, so I do have more questions for him, but yeah, I'm super looking forward to it. It was a good boost for my ego, and I was like, dude, if I could, a couple gigs like that. I said, I came home and I tell Lisa, I was like, yeah, I said, he, told him, and now I remember who this guy is too. As we were talking, I was like, oh, were you from this place? He's like, yes, that's me. So, I would assume baton, OC, riot ties, standard cuffs. Yeah, I don't know. It all kind of depends. All right. You're right. What they are able to use or their company SOPs for engagement will determine training. So, Yeah, it all depends. But when I told my wife, I was like, yep, we get to keep the lights on for another day. I thought that was pretty funny. But that's just, that's just something that'll just, put money in the bank, lets us continue to move forward. So I'm actually kind of excited about that. So I really need to adjust where I'm sitting. So it's supposed to be, so depending on what app you're using, yeah, $500 for an hour. And so if it's 20 people, that ends up being $25 a head, which is for an hour self-defense class. That's fair. Generally, I charge when it comes to user certification or training for large groups. For a 4-hour class, I charge $750. And that is, well, let's see. So I charge, what do I charge? Yeah. It is a pretty good deal. So what, I can't remember what my rates are. It's been a while since I've taught a cert class, but it's like if I teach a 4-hour class, it used to be $500, but I raised it. I think I just raised it to $600 or maybe $750. I can't remember, but it's based on the number of people. So let's see. Let me do the math, because it's like divided by no. Okay, so I think what is it? So basically, I can't remember the numbers. I'm trying to look at my calculator here, but basically, I have a set fee. I have a minimum fee. That's what it is. I have a minimum fee for a certain number of people. So it's like $600, say $750, whatever, $650, or $75 a head for a 4-hour class. So if there are, say, and I honestly can't remember what my new rates were, but it's basically a set fee or per person. So, if there were 2 people in the class, it's still going to cost the client, say $600 or $700, however much it is. If we go over that, then for a 4-hour class, then it's, basically it's $600 or so, whatever dollar amount per person, whichever is greater. That's essentially what it is. And then I have the same thing for an 8-hour class. It's a little bit cheaper. It's not exactly double, but it's like for an 8-hour class, this is what I charge this amount, or per person, whatever. So, so I do have that. I would love, and I think this is, and depending on their SOP and what the company allows them to do, I'm going to bring down a crimp and show, maybe I'll just show them crimp entries. Ooh, I could do that from our ready position. I like that. I think I could teach that in an hour. I don't know. We'll see. But if I could get a crimp in, at least in Kevin's hand, if he's in charge of organizing training, if I could get a crimp in his hands, maybe I can do a crimp class. Yeah, that would be good. It's a great selling tool for future training. Absolutely. So yeah, so I think, or I can just teach them high five, low five. Okay, we're gonna do patty cake, and then teach them all the different ways to do that. No, I want to teach them something that, you know, God, it's so hard to pick what I'm gonna do in an hour, and it also depends on uh, on how well these guys pick stuff up. And I say guys just in general. So, uh, but like when I was going through my ASP instructor course, there was a concept of teaching to the twos. So if you take a scale 1 to 4, you have and I really wish I could actually remember this, because even when I look this up on the internet, and I'm, you know what, before I even go into this, teaching to the twos, see if I can find, oh, there's actually a book called, oh, see, teaching twos and threes. That's for kids, teaching, yeah, teaching to the 2s and 3-year-olds. No. So the concept of teaching to the twos is, if you take people on their learning scale where 1 just is not going to pick it up, and 4 can basically watch a video and pick it up. 2 are those ones where it's like, you can, like, just a little bit of training and some repetition, they'll be pretty good at it. I mean, not super good at it, but and like the 4, because the 4s, they just pick up. They can watch somebody do something and then recreate it. They're mimics, and be pretty good at it. 3s, you know, they're the ones where you just need to show them a couple times and they can do it, but they won't get bored by the repetition. 4 will get bored by the repetition. They'll just be like, I got this already. So, so the 3s, so if you teach to the 2s who need a little bit, they need it broken down a little bit more. They need a little bit more repetition. They need a little bit more explaining, but the 3s aren't going to get bored by that. The 3s are going to be like, oh, that's kind of cool. I can do it that way. Whereas the 1s, you just shouldn't hire the 1s. If the 1s are doing anything physical, they just, you know, they had a hard time tying their shoes getting out of bed this morning, and they've been tying their shoes for 20 years, you know, that kind of stuff. So the concept teaching to the 2s, where, you know, the 3s aren't, let's see, I might be a variable like X. What are you a mimic? Is that what you are, John? Or have you heard of that, teaching to the 2s? I don't know. I've tried to find, I've tried to find that concept written down so I could better explain it to people, because I kind of get it in my head, but I can never find anything like that. So it's like, what can I teach in an hour that the 2s will get, and that they can still, you know, they can use walking out the door in an hour. So, there's similar concept in adult learning principles. I just don't remember the analogy they used. Yeah. Well, you know, there is the, there is, and I, what is it? It's not, it's like, the competency. Let's see, hold on. Let me do, um, see. Oh, okay. So there are the 4 stages of competence, and I can never really remember, but there's unconscious incompetence, conscious incompetence, conscious competence, and unconscious competence. So I don't know if that's the one that you're referring to. Yes, thank you, John. Yeah, that's yeah. All right. So I haven't heard of it. Sounds interesting. I'm more familiar with the abstract concrete VL versus audio learners. Yes. So, and what John just put down there, that's, so I can never remember all of them, but yes. And so it's basically as we learn a skill, you know, we're just incompetent at it. And then, but then we're, you know, as we recognize stuff, we're consciously incompetent at it. We know we don't know it. And then there's the conscious competence where we know it and we're pretty good at it, but we have to think about it when we do it. And then there's the unconscious competence where we just do it, where people are like, well, how'd you do that? And you're like, I don't know, I just did it. So that's yeah. So, but it's one of those where and when I mention teaching to the 2s, they're like, oh, well, it could be based on that, on the 4 stages of competence, but it's not, what is it? But it's not like it's kind of associated to it, but it's not. I don't know. Yeah. So, I just wish I can't find anywhere where it's written down because I love the concept. But it's, yeah, teaching to the 2s. So it's almost like you've got that bell curve where you've got, you know, you've got the people when like you got the early adopters, like, oh, that's cool tech, I'm just going to get it even though I don't know what it is. And then you've got the people that are like I don't know why I'm making this rationalization here, but it is. And then there's the people who are like, oh, okay, I like it. I'm going to wait just a little bit before it comes out, but I think it's really cool. And then there's the people who are just like, be like, well, I'm going to see, you know, is it going to become mainstream? And if it's mainstream, then I'll get it. And then there's the other people that just don't get it. Like, as Simon Sinek says, they have a touch-tone phone because they don't make rotary dial phones anymore. So, let's see. Leo Fong used to say a student practices until they can do it correctly, and a master practices until they can't do it wrong. Yeah, no, I'd follow that concept. This heat is killing here. Hold on a second. Let me. There we go. Less sun on my brain. It's getting a little toasty out. Just a little toasty. Let's see what it is. It's only 81, and it is 10:25 in the morning. Only 81. Only. It's supposed to be 100 today. It's supposed to be 100 all week. I know I just got into the weather, but let's see. According to my app, it's supposed to be 100 today, 97 Wednesday, 96 Thursday, 99 Friday, 98 Saturday, 91 Sunday, and then it starts going down into the low 80s. And then, yeah, so it's going to be just a little warm. Just a little warm. There's a local weatherman, Matt Safino. I don't know what channel it is, but he basically pegged it as it's going to be like 101 every single day for the next 4 days. Holy cow. Now, what I could do is I could have I could just leave the air conditioning on at the school the entire time, because that's what I did. I come into the school yesterday. This is funny. This is kind of like me and forgetting to turn off the heat. And I've actually been really, really good. And I don't know why I was distracted on Saturday, but I had been there all day. I think Lisa and I left at probably 7, but got out of there on Saturday. And so I go in yesterday morning, and I wouldn't say it's the morning. I'd say it would be like, it was probably 2 in the afternoon, 1 or 2. And I'm like, oh, it's so nice and cool in here. Because sometimes it is like, it's been hot and it's been cool because the lights are off. The building is at a certain angle where the sun doesn't really just come in. And so I'm like, this isn't bad. Yeah, it was actually really comfortable because I left the air conditioning on all night long. I can just imagine what that electric bill is going to be at the end of the month. It is what it is. All right, so let's get into let's do birthdays. So I do know that there's one person's birthday today. Of my Facebook friends. Let's go birthdays. Sarah Holland's birthday is today. Don't know how old she is. Facebook won't tell me. But she is a nurse at Providence. She's a really awesome gal. When it comes to her birthday, or when it comes to her, when she was charge nurse in the ER, like the shit would literally hit the fan all the time, constantly. And it was just like, and I'd come down being lead. I'd be like, dude, what's going on? Like, it was fine. Why is everything so crazy right now? And she's like, it's not my fault. It's not my fault. Yes, Sarah, it's always your fault. I always thought about making her a shirt that says, yes, it's my fault. And I do know that we have a Star Trek person. We do have a Star Trek person's birthday today. It is Nana Visitor's birthday today. Kira Nerys. It is her birthday. She is 65 today. Oh my gosh. These people are getting old. Well, I'm old too, so it is what it is. When we talk about Star Trek, I actually am ahead of my oh, he got it. A track is what a train goes on. Trek is what the Enterprise goes on. Yeah. Isn't that, why are you here? Aren't you standing in line to watch that Star Trek movie? Oh, I love Free Enterprise. It's such an amazing movie. I'm actually ahead of schedule talking about Enterprise. That is the Enterprise. We are watching Enterprise. I actually got all the, and mainly because I'd been like, we got so behind on stuff. I had done a bunch of laundry. I hadn't folded anything. So I was up folding laundry last night, cleaned out, like, oh my gosh, it's amazing how things can get cleaned and put away when you actually fold the laundry. But when you don't have time, you don't have time. So of course I had Star Trek on. Today is Similitude and Carpenter Street. Let me talk about that. But I've finished episodes for tomorrow, Wednesday. So, which is Chosen Realm and Proving Ground. Which are both actually relatively interesting episodes. Similitude is Similitude, however you pronounce it. That's the one where Trip gets injured in a engineering something or other, and Dr. Phlox is like, oh, I have this thing that we can clone him. So they clone him. And this guy, at some point, he's just like, no, I actually kind of want to live. It's almost like an Enterprise version of the Tuvix episode. But it wasn't as bad. But it does bring up stuff like, we talk about human cloning or cloning organs. It's like, what, where do we draw the line? It's kind of like the Tuvix episode, but this one was good. So yeah, I thought it was a good episode. And then Carpenter Street is the one where the Xindi, the reptilian Xindi, somehow go back into time, and they're collecting blood types to create some weapon to basically kill out the humans in 2005 instead of sending a weapon to destroy them when in the current timeline. And so of course, what happens? Daniel, he shows up. Daniel shows up and says, "Oh, hey, by the way, I'll send you back in time." And so Archer's like, he's like, "Okay, well, he says, I can take one person, and guess what? To Paul, since you don't believe in time travel, I'm taking you, so you'll believe." It was an okay episode. But yeah, John's right. It's still, still part of the temporal Cold War arc. I don't know. I like Enterprise. I really do. I like the whole series, and I like the characters. It's just some of the places that we went with that. Like, I don't know. I'm actually enjoying the Xindi a little bit more than I would think I would, even though, I don't know. The time travel, that trope is just so overused. So anyway, so that's kind of where I'm at. In fact, if I continue on, and I might actually reorganize stuff, because of course after this, then we have our after Enterprise, we have the what's it called? We have the Kelvin movies, and then we get into Discovery. And I want to see if I can't get in season 4 into Discoveries. And so that I might have to watch a few more episodes per day. But if I can get ahead, then I can get ahead. So when he went back in time, he said, he sadly didn't say, "Oh boy." Oh, that would have been cool. I didn't even think of that. Oh, okay, John, that would have been pretty cool. God. Yeah, I absolutely agree. Okay. So anyway, so that's kind of where we're getting on with that, because basically at the end of this month, well, let's see, where do we so August 11th is actually the end of Enterprise, is when we end Enterprise. So okay. All right. I know the fanboys like myself, that's what you guys want. No, I totally agree. The fact he did share screen time with Dean Stockwell, though, did make me happy. Yes. I did think that was pretty cool. I'm terrified of this Quantum Leap reboot. So am I. Is it, but here's the thing. Is it a reboot, or is it a continuation of the story? That's what I'm confused on. They keep on calling it a reboot, but then when I read stuff on it, they say that it happens in the future, that it's actually continuing the story. So what is it? If it's continuing the story, it's not a reboot, at least not to my definition. Oh yeah, my good friend Dean Stark. It's too bad that Dean didn't last long enough for, because I know what is it? I know Bram had said that like he and Michael Bates and a couple other people tried to reach out to Dean Stockwell's family because they wanted to have him. They wanted to see if they couldn't have him come to the June camp in what do you call it? In Pennsylvania, to give him some like, Modernist Life Achievement Award. I think that would have been so cool. Yeah, Villanova. Yeah, which they haven't done it there. It's just been in a park the last couple of years, just because of COVID. But yes, so good evening. Yes, it is actually evening for you. It is still morning for me. It's about 10:30 in the morning, 10:37. A little bit. I got on here a little bit late, but we're just talking about enterprise and how that connected to the Dean Stockwell, and how what is it? John was like, it's too bad that he didn't say, "Oh boy," when he went back in time. It's just one of those, like, those little Easter eggs. It would have been kind of fun to have seen. So 6:36 p.m. Okay. Well, at least it's not like super, super late. I remember somebody calling on here from Japan, and they were like, oh yeah, it's like, like super, super early in the morning. So yeah. Oh, I'm just sitting here and I'm starting to sweat. Did I mention this is going to be really hot today, and I'm not used to that? Just finished a long day selling insurance, listening to podcasts to drive home as always. Oh, well, that's good. I'm glad that you have chosen to hang out and listen to me. I know my stuff can be sometimes a little bit dry. Thomas, sir, how are you? I hope you're surviving the heat. In fact, you know what we could do, Thomas? What are you doing today? We can go to the school and we can film stuff, because it's going to be cool there. See, he's not surviving the heat. Let's see. Okay, so this is funny. Rob, Emmett, I'm in the middle of my long day working in insurance, taking time away from the insanity of loss runs to listen to the podcast. Yeah. that's a riot. So yeah. Now, since we're talking about sci-fi, let's just bring up our list of shows that we're so excited. There's not a lot of new stuff like recent. So really the only thing that we're looking forward to is New Horizons episode 9 coming up on Thursday. So of course, Rob and I will talk about that on Friday. Last couple episodes have been really good. We'll see where this one takes us. I don't see a lot of previews, so I have no idea what we're getting into, but hopefully this will be good, just as good as the next ones. And of course, August looks pretty good. We got Prey coming out on the 5th, Lower Deck season 25 coming out, or season 25, season 3, episode 20, or on August 25th. Looking forward to that. I know we talked about yesterday. It's come up that Strange New Worlds is going to do a crossover with Lower Decks. So I don't know exactly First time this season we are actually looking forward to an episode of New Horizons. September looks like it's going to be amazing. Lord of the Rings on Prime, Cobra Kai season 5. I still need to watch season 4. Lower Decks comic is coming out. Survivor 43. At some point, I will have the school to the point where I will have enough students to have instructors that can take over, so I can dedicate a month of my life to winning season whatever it is on Survivor. Bad Batch. Ooh, and when it comes to Bad Batch, I came across, and I don't know if this is just I don't know if this is just a fan, like they're guessing, or if they actually have it, because it would be an easy guess. It's like, okay, well, if it's going to be on the 28th, then every Wednesday after that, there's going to be an episode of Bad Batch. So I sent this off to Rob this morning. Let's see, where is it? But somebody basically posted all the episodes. So apparently there's going to be 16 episodes. And I basically from September 28th all the way to January 11th, we're going to have an episode of the Bad Batch, which awesome. Let's see. Okay. There are parts of Strange New Worlds I actually like. Vast improvements of the most modern Trek, in my opinion. I agree. There's more info on the crossover. It will be live action from the cast of Lower Decks and will have animated elements in it, not Roger Rabbit style like I previously suggested. Okay, that's great news. I mean, that's actually kind of what I was hoping for, is that even if there are animated things and they end up live action, that's going to be amazing. Was a teaser for Picard season 3 at Comic-Con. I don't know, but I played it yesterday. Have you seen it? Because I love it. I'm excited. Worf looks totally wickedly amazing. And then you have and I can't remember the last line that Picard said. Oh shoot, now you got my brain going. Let's see, there, no, there we go. And then, because I shared it the other day. Nope. God, there's just like when I'm on my site, there's just a bunch of me. Oh, You Are Never Without Hope, the Picard trailer. So yeah, just, and all the actors just so, like, they just look so regal. And with Seven in as a Starfleet officer, so we don't know if she's going to be captain, or somebody said something that she plays a commander, but whatever it is, she's finally now. And that was one thing. So that was one thing. Watching DS9, you had that one teenager, and I think I may have not DS9, Voyager. Yeah, that I can't remember the kid's name, but he basically joined Starfleet Academy and through Tuvok, and is teaching him remotely. And then you have what is it? But then at the beginning of Picard season 1, he is in Starfleet, but then Seven isn't able to become Starfleet. And I always thought that, maybe it was because he was only Borg for just a little bit, and he got, he was young and he was able to train, where she was Borg for 20 years and they just didn't trust her. So I don't know, but I'm glad that they did that for her. Icheb. Yes. Thank you, Icheb. So, Let's see. And then, of course, I got to throw up. I got to throw this up. Nothing's changed from since yesterday. Actually, you know what? Hold on. I'm going to remove that. Nope, remove it. Remove, because I made a new one. So we're going to delete that. Delete. I just forgot to upload it. Since I was not really, I was like, I had just given the damn cat a bath because he was dirty. Apparently he was in the house this morning. He must have got, my wife said that he got out. So there we go. Okay. It is, I fixed it. So August 6th, self-defense class, crimp user course at Artisan. We got Bruce Chu and Ahmad Bet at Gerald's place in Jacksonville. Jim Corn, David Hogan will be in Statesboro, Georgia. It's Time Live, Believe, is going to be at One Martial Arts in San Francisco. That's 13th through the 16th. That's actually where Lisa and I will be during those weeks. And then on the 18th, we're doing a booth. And we just kind of go through. So August is actually going to be a pretty busy month. Hopefully, we will get some more students through this and through advertising and, well, through brain work, back to school stuff. So just promoting it through back to school. September 23rd, Leon G. Okay, cool. John, can you send me that information? Because I'd like to put that up if I can. I know that he had another one go up earlier, but I can't remember. The last camp that he had put up, I missed it. So if you could send me that information, that would be great. And I know during, let's see, which weekend is it? Is it is it in November or is it in August? I saw something for Will Higginbotham is oh, okay, good. Yeah, just let me know and I will put on the list. Will Higginbotham is doing his thing. Is it I want to say it's that same weekend, the August 12th, 12th, 13th, 14th, something like that. Yeah, there we go. August 11th is a Ryukyu reunion. So I just saw it come up. I don't know who maybe Chris Thomas posted something and that's where I saw it. But anyway, yeah, I'd like to end up have this list. Like, I do have stuff for September and October and November, and but I would like this to be like for not just my shit, but everybody's shit. Like, I think we should learn for everybody. And I was talking, I don't know who I was talking to. Maybe it was Tom Gallo and Harvey. One of the things that I always thought would be really cool. Yes, after COVID, it is nice to see stuff going on. I think it's fantastic. In fact, Brandon Beliso was talking about the Martial Arts Super Show in Las Vegas and how absolutely amazing it was. Like it was different than it had been in the past, but he had a really, really good time and really enjoyed everything that went on there. So I thought that was good to hear. I have never been to the Martial Arts Super Show. I think it happened did it happen the week after Bram's thing? I don't know. It always happens around Bram's birthday. And of course I've spent all this money putting it on, and of course earning money. Bram actually earned a nice chunk of change this year. So anybody wondering if Bram's okay, financially, July is going to be good for him. But I do want to go. I've always wanted to go. I just never had the time or the money or anything like that. So, but on this thing that Tom and I, Harvey and I were talking about, it would be really cool. And I don't know, I don't know how it would be possible. I think I might have to be a millionaire or be really, really convincing. But put on a seminar where we have some of the big names, not little names. People don't go to little names, but we get a couple big names there, a little bit little names, but get representatives from all of the major Q show organizations under one roof for one big seminar. It could be a weekend, say like a Saturday, Sunday, or Friday night, a Friday evening, all day Saturday, and then Sunday morning. So people, but be able to do that, and then just have like a gala, like Sunday evening for those who can stay, or maybe even have a big gala on Saturday night. Like Saturday would be the long ass day, but like we get Q Show International people, we'd get Oaken Circle people, we'd get Hogan people, we get Dillman people. Did I say Dillman people? All of them. Like, and if we could get people, a Q Show Super Show. Oh my God, we could totally play on that. Yeah, just be like, look, we all do the same shit. We just call it different things. Let's just share. I think that would be fantastic. And you know what? Look, I know that there's some people that don't like each other. Don't fucking talk to each other. Just show up. If somebody's teaching that you don't like personally, that's fine. Just keep your mouth shut. Sit off in the corner. Be respectful. But I think that would be amazing. I think that would be so cool to do. But like we could get, and I know that there's a lot of people, like the people that I know, they do it. I think they would do it. Tom and Ed, they said that they would be down for it. Some of these people that I don't know very well, I don't know if they would. I don't know them that well, so it'd be like, hey. But part of it is that, like, I could take care of the location. I could take care. It's like, you'd have to pay your own way. I don't know about housing though. That's the thing, is that I could probably arrange something somewhere, and I couldn't guarantee people getting paid back. But here's the thing: if you bring big name people, Klein, David Hogan, and like David is big in his organization, but he's not big in other organizations. So that's the thing. But Jim Korn's been around forever. Klein has been around forever. If I could get Evan Pentazzi, he's been around for, if you get, especially the people that are at the top of their organization, if I could get those people to come out and represent their organization, and then they bring people out. Like, if Evan came out, well, I think Tom and Ed would come out regardless. But if Evan came out, Tom and Ed would definitely be there, and so would other people. I think I don't know how big of a draw Will Higginbotham is. I know that the local Dillman affiliate in Oregon brought him out. Shoot, I don't know how many years ago. I wanted to go, but I ended up not going. I can't remember what prevented me. Something came up that I just couldn't do. But yeah, I think that would be phenomenal. It's money. It's money. Yeah, I've heard tons of great things about him. So you know, I'm not BFFs with with Chris Thomas, but we do chat every now and then online. So I don't know. And for some reason, okay, and we could moneymaker, another super talented, like you know, I know I'm forgetting some organizations, but bring him in, be like, look, I'm not going to make, you know, it's like I have to take a small percentage off the top, because state of Washington will takes a small percentage of the gross, like of the gross. So I do have to take that small percentage off the top to be able to cover my taxes at the end of the year, because of Washington, how they tax on gross receipts. But after that, I don't need to make any money. Like, just be like, look, if everybody can agree, hey, you know, here's the location, here's the schedule, this is what's going to cost, and, you know, come out, and everybody, you know, everybody gets the same percentage. Everybody gets the same, you know. So I don't know if I threw that up there. Yes, throw Moneymaker onto the dream list. Rick Clark. See, now we're getting into some people that have been around for a while. Absolutely. Of course, just the tip of the iceberg. But yeah, so that's an idea. And I always thought that would be really, really cool. Maybe we could get sponsors. I don't know who we could get sponsors. I could say Q-Show Corner could sponsor it, but that's, you know, that's me. I could just say my time and energy are going into sponsoring. I'll put the name up there, but we could even probably say, and it really wouldn't be money sponsoring it. It would be more Bram donating crimps, because of course crimps are the best Q-Show tool that Q-Show people are not using. Get Black Belt Magazine as a sponsor, Tiger Claw. I could reach out. Like, it could, like, ooh, if I was able to get in touch with the right people, I could be like, look, there's been a rift between these groups forever, and I want to try and be able to get these people out here. And maybe even I could, if I could get that would be great. If I could get Black Belt to sponsor it, then I get somebody to write an article about it happening again. So instead of just these little groups gathering, we have this one big, like, it could just be like, you know, I'd like to say it's a first annual, because of course I would love to do that every year. I think that would be amazing. But it would be one of those, Kataro. Okay. Ooh. So who would I do first? Who would I reach out to the sponsors first to say, hey, I have this idea? Or do I reach out to the people and be like, if you don't know who I am, this is who I am. And this is something that I'd like to do. Would you, if I can make it happen, would you be interested in being part of it? And like, even with my birthday thing, like, I told my friends, we're like, I can't guarantee to pay you any money. And honestly, I bought him dinner. It's just because it was just us and like one person or maybe two people. But regardless, it was just one of those where it's like, it's like I can't guarantee any money. So, but I have these really awesome friends that were just like, yeah, no problem. I don't care. I mean, fucking Rob spent, I don't know how much on a plane ticket. So if I could, and maybe depending on, it's like, okay, well, I can, like, I'll front you $500. Okay. Maybe I can do the fronting of the $500. And then they can put that to whatever, but then but I get a few names, and then I can go to the sponsors and be like, $1,300 for the weekend and well worth it. Is that like charging that much? Because then what do I charge? Get a few of the names on the hook, which helps with others being added in sponsors. Yeah. So I know, like, I could, I know that Jim Korn would do it. I know David Hogan would do it. I mean, I don't know he would do it, but I'm pretty sure we could talk him into it. Oh, no, that's what it cost to come out there for your birthday. Oh shit. Yeah. See, now knowing that, I feel so bad. But we had a great time, and we watched Free Enterprise. But okay. So, okay. Say we have a big weekend. Now, Jim, okay, so Jim does these Friends in the Arts seminars, and we could do Friends in Q Show, or I want to say Q Show Friends, but that's anyway. So, like, he does an all-day thing Saturday, like this upcoming Friends in the Arts. It's Friday evening, all day Saturday, and most of the day Sunday. And cost is going to be about $195 for the entire weekend. Meanwhile, in the Hall of Q Show, Q Show League. So, and I know, let's see. So if I did, yeah, yeah, John, an RV would have to be good, especially since my day job is remote. A hotspot and my laptop could have gone up there and back with no issue. Yeah. Oh, I didn't even see the hole. That's why I want an RV. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I think like if we got enough people and we charge the right price, I think it's what, for the Q Show reunion. It's like $200 pre-register, $250 at the door, if I saw that right. Q Show Super Friends Seminar. I love it. We got a little bit of wind. It got a little bit cooler. But yeah, I mean, I think it would be doable. So, and then, everybody gets a shirt that has the businesses supplied on it. That would be cool. And I don't think I would actually print the shirts. I'd have somebody else do it. We can even design the event shirts to be based off of the old Super Friends logo. Oh my God. That would be wickedly awesome. That would be cool. That would be so cool. Yeah. So, but anyway, this is something I think would be phenomenal for the Kyushu world. It's not just, you know, not just the groups getting together here and there. It's everybody getting, and we don't always have to be friends. We don't always have to agree. But I think doing something like that, we get the right people to promote it, and of course, there's going to be those people who are like, nope, this is what I charge. I charge this amount. And it's like, it's like doing my episode 100. Okay. Kyushu Corner episode 100 was on knockouts. And I reached out to a bunch of different people and I was like, and that's actually how I originally got out to Indiana for the first time. Cause Jim was like, I don't know how to do this online stuff. Just come out and just interview me in person. Okay. There was much more to that conversation than that, but that was it. Gerald, how are you? Everybody, we got to stop talking shit about Gerald. I'm just kidding. We're actually talking about an idea that I've had for a long time. Oh my gosh, Gary Brooks and Song Pak. Yes, see, it's getting those people together. So anyway, one of the things that we were talking about, Gerald, is doing like a big. We can keep talking about it. One of my ideas is to do just one big, huge seminar, where we get all the big Kyushu people together, but we just don't know how well that's going to go. Go ahead. Maybe something I haven't heard before. Yeah, that's what, when people call me fat, I'm like, be original. Tell me something different. Why I always say it to your face as much as behind your back. And actually, Gerald, since you're here, one of those things is like getting one of the people, and I know they don't really do Kyushu, but maybe even having somebody from Oyata's group represent as well. I think that would be kind of cool too. Basically doing like one big Kyushu, and I gotta think the last working title would be the Kyushu Super Friends Seminar, but we get everybody there. Dillman people, Hogan people, Kyushu International people. Anyway, but like everybody, and if we can get some big names, then we'll get people hopefully to show up. And especially if it's like, oh my God, like, yeah. So I think it would be cool. So, just the logistics, first of all, is money, because, okay. So mention it to him, tell him it's just an idea that's floating around, but, and we can't promise a ton of money. But it would be great that if, it would be great to see if we can't get something like this started, I don't have a big school. I mean, it's big, but I don't have a big school. So like, we definitely have to rent, I'd have to rent a location, which I don't think that would be too hard. Cause we could always do it in, depending on when it happens, a school gymnasium, all that kind of stuff. We can't promise money, but we can promise good time. One of the ideas, Gerald, was that any money brought in, I would just split evenly among all the major players. So, Gerald co-hosted the Jack's Holiday Inn. So we could do that. I'm thinking Pacific Northwest, because that's where I'm at. And if it's something that I was, but also here's another thing, is it could be somewhere in the middle of the United States, somewhere that is neutral. Or here in DC, good airports and hotels. Okay. And so I know there's one thing about being a West Coast Q show person is that we never, and I think I can talk about, I can talk other Q show people who live here in the Northwest. We always felt like we were outsiders because all this shit was happening on the East Coast. Like if you look at where most people live who do Q show, it's all on the East Coast. Or close to the East Coast. Because you had, George in Reading, you have Evan up in, I can't remember where Evan is. You have, I don't think Moneymaker, one of them was from Texas, not Moneymaker, but I think the other guy, I can't remember what his name is. He's, hey, John, he's in, he was in Texas, but I think Moneymaker's from Virginia or South Carolina. But anyway, so I was talking about episode 100. Oh, Rick. Okay. Rick is in North Carolina, South Carolina, something like that. Cause, Dragon Society has something, Myrtle Beach, wherever Myrtle Beach is located. But Myrtle Beach is somewhere that I think that's where Dragon Society has their big thing every 6 months, or I don't know. Let's see. They've gotten to be really hard ass. They're not wanting to work with us, but we can put our heads together collectively and come up with a centralized location for everybody. South Carolina. Yeah. But yeah, so it's just one of those things where it's just been that idea. But this is kind of this is where I run into. So like when I did episode 100, I got Mark on there. I got client. So my initial thing was I was going to interview, and I was going to do this from going to do all the interviews remotely until Jim was like, "Yeah, I'll do it, but I don't know how to do it remotely. So just come out here and I'll let you teach and I'll put you up in a cabin and all that kind of stuff." So that's how I really got connected with Jim. But Chris Thomas had no problem talking to me. Michael Patrick, who's part of Dragon Society, he had no problem talking to me. David Hogan, no problem talking to me. What's that dude in Canada? Cannot remember his name. I see his stuff come up all the time. I can't remember his name. Anyway, had no problem talking to me. I said, oh, see you later, Johnny. There was, no, not Steve Stewart. Even though Steve Stewart talks shit about, or like he shit comments me on some of my stuff, and I'm like, really? Anyway, but he used to train with Steve. I cannot remember his name, but that he learned from Steve. But he still, and actually when I interviewed him, he was when I interviewed him, he was actually in Prague. But he's now come back to Canada. I can't remember. That's okay. But again, no problem talking to me. I sent an email off to George Dillman, who then forwarded to Chris Thomas, who said, George doesn't do interviews anymore. Hence, getting burned on the whole National Geographic episode, which I totally understand. I get it, George. I get it. But I sent off emails to a bunch of different people. and Facebook messages off to a ton of different people. The one person who turned me down said, "Hey, you got a good show. I like that you're promoting Q Show, but because you're not part of our organization, we're not going to do because you're no longer part of our organization, we're not going to do the episode." Really? Like, we only help promote people who promote us. And I'm like, I have to shake my head. Just have to shake my head. No, it's not Bill Thurston. It'll come to me. It'll come to me probably after I log off. And I've been talking for an hour and a half. Damn. Okay. We should probably end this. I still have my tea though. And because it's freaking hot out, it's still warm. Haha. That name is going to be rattling up there. Anyway, so there was one person who basically turned me down, and I'm afraid, not scared afraid, but just afraid that it's like, okay, yeah, we'd love to do it, but, and that's the person that I would suspect, where it's just like, I'll only do it if you pay me this flat amount. So that's kind of where but here's the thing, when it really comes down to it, I won't know if I don't ask. You don't know if you don't ask. So, but there's some of these preconceived notions of, how certain people work, their thought processes. Yeah. So I don't know, but I think the Pacific Northwest would be, even though it is cross country for a lot of people, it would be good neutral ground, because there isn't there's one Dillman associate out here. Technically I'm a Hogan associate. But it's not like it's big mainstream. Like there's no big name Q Show people out here. I do not consider myself a big name Q Show person, even though I've got Q Show Corner and I'm told otherwise, but it is what it is. But I think having, but I'm almost thinking neutral ground, like in the middle of the United States, where it won't cost as much. And we'd have to find more of a major city, so there wouldn't be, like flying into a regional airport, because that would cost a shit ton of money. But anyway, just some thoughts that I've had. I think that would be super, super, super cool to do. But I do have my own school to look out for first. That's priority. But this thing, I think if I just kind of slowly planted the seed and was like, yeah, I think this would be cool. Oh yeah, I think that would be cool too. And kind of go back and forth and slowly build it up, that that eventually we could do a reality, it could be a reality. And here's the thing, some of these people, they're not getting any younger. Like, in fact, it's like, I'm turning 50, like even just looking at on the Filipino side, Dan Anderson and Bram Frank, they're turning 70. Dan will be 70 in November. Bram will be 70 he just turned 69, but he'll be 70 in next July. Kelly Worden, he'll be 70. So some of these guys that, are big name. John, I don't know how old you are, but some of these bigger name people, they've, they're not going to be around forever. So I'd like to do it sooner than later. But it's, it's just one of those things. So anyway, with that thought, I'm going to let y'all go. Let's see, before we go, let's see what is the temperature out right now according to my app. It's 86 degrees at 11:21. So anyway, was I not supposed to start counting backwards after 50? Oh my gosh, that's funny. Anyway, so love to y'all. Thank you for hanging out this long. If you're watching this after the show or after it aired and you're still watching this long, and you haven't liked, shared, or anything like that, please do so now. Well, because I'm totally 40. Okay, well, come on. You're only like 5 years older than I am. That's not old. It is. Oh, geez. It's 93. Okay. Well, I'm going to go where it's air conditioned. And then I might hang out and then go to another location that's air conditioned. So anyway, I'm going to end this. Love to you all. Yeah. You're just 5 years older than me. It's nothing. All right. Love to y'all. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Hopefully I'll be on time.